I think we've made a big mistake. Welcome back to Vacay in One Day. I am finally here, as you can see behind me, Epic Universe. Universal Studios' newest theme park. In true Vacay in One Day fashion, I'm only here for one day. And we're gonna see if we can really do all 11 rides and see all 2 shows in just one day because it's so packed. I've seen wait times for Battle of the Ministry at like 180 minutes. And also it's raining, as you can see. Probably hear the thundering. So we're gonna have to figure that out, but let's go. And we have a few things that are gonna help us today and try and get through everything. The first is early entry. So they have a dedicated entry right here. You can kind of see the people are already lining up. And then you're gonna take that walkway outside. And then it's gonna cross over here and then through the bridge, then into the park. So that opens at 8 and the normal park opens at 9. So it gives us a full extra hour before non-resort day guests get here. And we also bought Universal Express Pass. And the way Express works here is similar to other Universal parks. There's a dedicated separate queue that you can walk into whenever you want. You don't have to book certain times for rides like you do with Disney. And it's good for an attraction once. And it works on the shows in Wizarding World, Cirque Arcanu, and the show The Unchained Dragon, and How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. And then all the rides except the Battle of the Ministry over in Harry Potter, Dragon Racers Rally, which is over in Isle of Berk, Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. I'm here the Saturday after opening weekend. I'm expecting to be super busy, but I'm still hoping with everything and the rain, I can get through everything. So the rain should stop in the morning. That has definitely derailed my plan because I was planning on doing early entry at Super Nintendo World, which is basically the only area that's open besides Stardust Racers and Celestial Park, which is that roller coaster over there, which is an outdoor roller coaster. I was planning on doing Minecart Madness because that is one of the 3 rides that's not offered on Express Pass. So obviously raining, I think it's gonna stay raining when the early entry starts, which limits us because now the only ride that's open during early entry that's inside is Mario Kart, and everyone's gonna be going to Mario Kart. We're gonna keep it flexible. We might have to, change plans and pivot and not do Battle of the Ministry if it doesn't open on time, and maybe hit some of those rides that we're gonna try and hit during early entry if the rain stops. But that's my plan for now. So let's go. I'm so excited. 7:51 and we made it through security. They started about 7:45. So don't wait until exactly 8 to get in line because they do seem to be opening it earlier than what they say they are. It's still raining though. Got my poncho. And I think the game plan is to head directly to Battle of Ministry. Even though it's not opening during early entry, I just feel like that's a safer bet. It's not opening usually on time or has a lot of delays. Wait time's like 180 minutes. It's not an express. So I feel like we should just get in line, wait the hour, and hopefully we're one of the first few people to ride it, and hopefully it opens on time at 9. I don't know, but we're gonna be waiting in the rain, so. Got my Universal poncho. 8:01 and we're about to start. We got on the pathway closest to Harry Potter Land. And the 3 of us dedicated in the rain, and they're still running. Don't run, please don't run. Not worth it. You're gonna slip and fall, especially in this weather. But we're going. It looks like they're letting us wait inside, thankfully, because it is pouring out rain. But we have made it to Harry Potter, the Battle of the Ministry, and we're going through. We're leaving Paris, 1930s, and going into 1990s London via the Metro Flu. Let's go. I'm so excited. Let's all pray and keep our fingers crossed. It's open. Like I said, it's at 9. Travel by Metro flew to the British Ministry of Magic and join Harry, Ron, and Hermione as adventure awaits at the trial of Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. This has a 40-inch height requirement and offers both single rider and child swap. So it's 8:34 and we just started moving again. I'm curious if they just opened more queue up or if we're actually starting to ride the ride early. I'll keep you updated, but if it opens early, that's exciting. And it makes me wonder if they did this just because it's raining outside and only one of the early entry rides is actually open, which is Mario Kart. So I'm wondering if they're really trying to open this early just because of that. So we shall see. Looks like we are going to ride early. 8:37. So exciting. Cab, see ya. On and off the ride by 8:45. I'm so glad we went here first instead of trying to go over to Super Nintendo World and riding Mario Kart, because I just don't know what the predictability of this ride is, and we rode it before the park even opens. Wow. First ride done, Battle of Ministry. What's your thoughts and what's your ranking for this ride?
I was really impressed with the ride. Great animatronics, really good video, it was really smooth. Didn't get any motion sickness despite the format. So overall, it kind of hovers between that A tier, S tier for me. I don't have the emotional connection to Harry Potter. So right now I probably put it at the top of A tier, but as I go through the day, I can see it moving up.
I agree with no motion sickness, and some of these rides I do get sick on. There are screens and practical effects and sets. I think what helps it is that it's not super jerky. Like he said, it's smooth. It's not 3D, so you don't have to wear glasses or anything like that, but I am so impressed by the animatronics. I'm not going to spoil it, but there are some extremely surprising special effects and animatronics that I wasn't prepared for. I will say the story got a little convoluted for me in some places, so I feel like it's a ride you have to keep riding to really understand what's going on. But yeah, I would put it in S tier. I think it's a fantastic ride here. And we got to ride it before the park opens. And back to the rain. Okay, it is 9 a.m. now, so the park is officially open, and since weather delay is still happening for all the outdoor rides, and Monsters Unchained looks like it's just delayed, not even weather delayed, so we're gonna go over to Super Nintendo World and we're gonna knock off Mario Kart. And then hopefully by the time we're off of that, maybe the weather will clear up and we can get on Minecart Madness. So that's our current plan now. It looks like every single person that's an hour's or guest is going into Super Nintendo World. Hordes of people. I'm now a cartoon. Ride through iconic courses, throw shells, and collect digital coins to beat Team Bowser. You've never experienced Mario Kart like this. It's a slow-moving dark ride with practical sets and virtual reality elements. And there's a game element as well, as you compete against Bowser. So you must be 40 inches or taller to ride, and you can use rider swap as well as single rider. We lost. Just got off Mario Kart. I have ridden it before at Japan and Hollywood. So what was your thoughts on it and rankings?
It's cool. Brings back a lot of the nostalgia of Mario Kart. It's definitely based off the newer school Mario Kart, not the OG N64. But it's similar to a, can I do spoilers-ish? It's similar-ish to a Toy Story Mania type of thing, like a shooting ride. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Right now, I'd probably put it in the B tier because it is pretty darn complex. There's upside on the second time if you get more of the hang of it. I could see it moving up in my rankings. And I would love to put it higher just because it is Mario Kart and Mario themed. But because they have nothing from the OG, I can't leverage that sort of nostalgia towards my ranking.
In terms of the ride, so there are practical sets, and then you also have the virtual reality, that headset that goes on top. It's a slow-moving ride, but like he said, it's complex, where you see the physical sets, but you're also shooting at things and moving around, and so it's kind of hard to appreciate some of the physical sets and know which road you're actually on, because you're so focused on hitting turtle shells at the other players and trying to defeat Bowser. So I agree, it's better to ride it a few times. I'm thinking low A, maybe high B.
Maybe I'm just a harder critic.
Maybe we'll keep it at low A for now and then see if it changes as we continue on. But it is still raining. Minecart Madness still hasn't opened yet, but a lot of the other outdoor coasters and rides are open. So we might go to Dragon Racers Rally. That's the other ride that's not on Express Pass. So if we can get that done now before the line gets too long, I think that's our best bet, even if it's riding it in the rain.
Let's do it.
So let's do it. So walking through Celestial Park, you have to go through this to get to each portal in each world. You can't go around in a circle. You have to exit and enter each portal separately. But I love the fact that they have really wide walkways here. It makes it feel a lot less busy and crowded. Now granted, it's still in the morning and a lot of people are in line for rides, but I think when it is truly busy, it'll still feel not packed as you're walking through here. And that was my main concern, is having it be too packed in Celestial Park, knowing that you have to keep going back and forth through this land to get to other portals. I'm really happy to see how wide the walkways really are. And of course, how stunning this park is. All the trees and flowers. Even on this cloudy, rainy day, it still feels beautiful here. Looks like it has a 25-minute wait. They don't offer express, so everyone will be waiting that. Not too bad. At Dragon Racers Rally, Burke's new Vikings can practice aerobatic maneuvers and high-speed barrel rolls on a tiring, Viking-made dragon riding trainer in hopes of becoming champion dragon riders. You can find this flat ride in other places. Most notably, I went on its clone inside of Mall of America, so I wouldn't say it's super unique. But it does allow riders to control their fate by managing their amount of flipping around. So you can stay upright through the flight or change your controller to allow you to flip on your head in circles. And for that reason, it has a 48-inch height requirement and child swap is available. Are you gonna try and make it flip?
Didn't even know I could do that.
Yeah, so if you move your body back and forth at the right angles, you can make yourself flip.
Let's try.
I've heard it's not super easy to do.
But it can't be done.
It can be done. There's a very famous video. There's a ride just like this at Mall of America, and there's a very famous video of this woman who's just going ham in the flips over and over and over and over and over. So each one can hold 12 people, so a total of 24 people every minute, 2 minutes. So very low capacity, which is why I feel like you should probably prioritize this one earlier, because again, even if it's not that long amount of people here, it's gonna be a longer wait because of that. We are racing to the Untrainable Dragons. Thank you. This next show literally is in 1 minute, so I didn't want to miss it. So it looks like Express closed. So if you do want to use your Express Pass, make sure you're here at least, not 1 minute before. And you don't even know what the show's about.
No idea.
It's 11:11. The show just ended. Going to the water ride. So when you first use your Express Pass, it takes a picture of you, and then you don't have to show your Express ticket ever again. You just have to stand in front of the camera, and then it knows your face, which I think is really nice, actually. In Fire Drill, Viking twins Roughnut and Toughnut have transformed Burke's Fire School into a watery, interactive boat battle at sea where teams of Vikings compete to out-soak each other. So for what I've seen and heard about its clone ride at Legoland, I expect the word soak in that sentence to be completely true. So there's no height requirement, and child swap is available. Poncho on. Wearing a poncho and still got soaked. So yes, you will get soaked on this ride. So just know that. We got wing gliders, 35 minutes. Let's see what it is with Express. Climb aboard Hiccup's wing gliders and get ready to fly like a dragon. This winged contraption sends brave Vikings swooping and soaring, offering a dragonized view of the Isle of Burke. This family coaster has a 40-inch height requirement and offers both single rider and child swap. Okay, so while we're in line,
yes,
we've done a lot.
Yes.
We haven't talked about it.
Nope.
Okay, so Dragons Racers Rally was the first one we did.
Yes.
What'd you think of it?
Impressed me. You think it's like a Dumbo ride, but it's really as intense as you want to make it. You can go fully upside down. You can do full flips.
Did you flip?
I did flip.
I did not flip. I tried. I got upside down, but I could not.
Easy, but you can do it.
But it's so short. That's the problem with the ride is, and I get it, low capacity, you need to make it short so more people can ride it. But I had like 3 chances to flip and that's it.
It's as good of a ride as it can be.
So what would you rate it? Like what tier? C?
C.
C tier. That feels right. So we also did a show, The Untrainable Dragon, which is a theater style show. But you have to wait anytime. I was super impressed by the dragon animatronics. No spoilers, but you will see some impressive dragons. It's for kids for sure. I liked it. I think it's worth doing, especially if you have kids.
It's a good break too. You get to sit down for 15 minutes. It's not, but you also don't feel like you're soaking up your whole day with some 30-minute show.
Right. And then we also did a water ride, fire drum.
Right.
You do get really wet. Like undoubtedly, you will get wet.
It's not a thrilling ride. Every water ride that I feel like I've been on, it's a raft or a flume ride where there's some sort of drop or some sort of thrilling aspect to it. This is exclusively the job of the ride is to get you wet.
There is a little bit of competition where you're hitting your water at targets. Some targets help you, some targets hurt you. I think we figured that out halfway through when I got splashed in the face so many times. I would rate this also a C tier.
Yeah, I feel like D would be too critical, and you should go on it, especially if it's a hot day, but there are better water rides out there.
Now, would you put this before Dragon Racers Rally if they're both C tier?
I would put Dragon Racers Rally above this still.
Okay. So we got on at 11:36, which is only 7 minutes when we got into the queue, which is way better than the 35 minutes for standby. Next up, it is the dueling coaster, the big coaster here at this park, Stardust Racers. 25 minutes and we're gonna use our express. We'll be putting everything in a locker. Stardust Racers is a racing multi-launch coaster and it has a max speed of 62 miles per hour, has heights of up to 133 feet, and features a celestial spin, where each track experiences a flip over the track. It also has onboard audio to really add to the experience. The coolest part of this ride, from an immersion standpoint, apart from the onboard audio, is watching this ride at night. So typically, rides have track lighting to illuminate the rides at night, but due to the theme of this ride being, we're racing comets, the Cronus is captured through its powers, so only the ride vehicle is lit up. So it creates the illusion or the look of a comet or of a shooting star. We are rushing to see Cirque Arcanu. We have 15 minutes before it starts. More like 10 minutes before it starts. We are hustling. The express queue is still open and it looks like we are walking past a ton of people. So as we wait for Cirque Arcanu's show to start, we haven't covered a lot of rides. We've been kind of running back and forth, but we did Hiccup's Wing Gliders, which is a family coaster in Isle of Burke. It reminds me of a lesser intense Hagrid's. There are some surprise elements. There's animatronics. It's a great family coaster. Kids are gonna love it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What's your rating?
I'm gonna give that a low A.
I agree. That's my surprise of the day. Is that's an A tier. It's the bottom of my A tier, but it's an A tier.
It is an A tier ride. I agree. Show just ended and we are going to talk about it, but I just looked at the app and Monsters Unchained finally opened today, so we are making a mad dash for Dark Universe. Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment, Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's demonstrations go awry when Dracula leads a revolt of angry monsters attempting to escape the catacombs.
I'm Igor. My job is to get you through this experiment in one piece. But Igor, I hear you say, where's the fun in that? I agree, you delightful freak. Sadly, this is not that kind of experiment.
Just got off Monsters Unchained Frankenstein experiment. I know we haven't reviewed a few of them. We're gonna work our way backwards and start with this one, review. What'd you think?
Well, I have no connection with any of these monsters, not necessarily a big fan, but it was still an awesome, awesome ride.
Which monster was your favorite?
The Wolfman's presence was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was cool. All the creatures were fantastic. The animatronics are extremely impressive. Well, one, you don't get motion sickness from this like you would with Harry Potter. It's a lot slower than Harry Potter, like less jerky, which I think helps with that. I was blown away. It is kind of scary though. Like there are things that pop out like Harry Potter moving a journey. There are things that will pop out in your face.
A lot closer to you too. Like not.
Yeah, things are close and big animatronics. Without giving you more spoilers, this is a must do. This is S tier. This is the best ride in my opinion.
Wow.
It is.
I think there's some other rides that we'll get to. I think this is probably top of B tier for me.
B?
Yeah, I think so.
Everyone else thinks this is the best ride, but you.
Not everyone has to have the same opinion.
This is S. This is actually better than Battle of Ministry for me. Do you think this is better than that, or do you think Battle of Ministry is better?
No, I like the Battle of Ministry better.
Better. Oh, I thought we were gonna have similar lists. Okay, moving backwards. So the show Cirque Arcanu have a lot of cool magic elements, like illusions. I'm not a huge fan of the Fantastic Beasts series. I love Harry Potter, but I haven't really watched any of them, and you don't need to do that to enjoy the show. You may not know what every beast's name is, but they're still really cute, and I think you can enjoy the show even without knowing it. What do you think of the show? Is it a must-do?
Worth doing. I probably liked the Untrainable Dragon better as a show.
Okay.
But the pre-show stuff here, some of the magic and illusions you mentioned were really interesting and a lot of fun.
And what I love about this show and the illusion is when you first walk in and you go up to the Cirque Arcanu tent, it's a kind of a small tent and it feels very unassuming. And as you keep going further, the rooms get bigger and bigger, and then you're like, wow, we're in a huge theater. So I thought that was cool.
It's definitely neat.
Okay, and then the last thing we haven't reviewed is Stardust Racers. And based on what you were saying earlier, I have a feeling I know where you're gonna put this.
This is an S tier ride. This is an elite roller coaster.
Okay, but you also said it was better than Velocicoaster, and I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, not everyone has to agree.
They're similar, they're very similar.
There's a ton of airtime,
Yeah.
multiple accelerations.
Yep.
It's a really, really, really good roller coaster.
I love how much you interact with the other coaster. Like you're constantly flipping around and moving around them. It's not just like one time you're dueling, you are constantly seeing them. The Celestial Spin is cool. So we did yellow first. I kind of think green's gonna be better for that based on the way the flipping is. I think green will be better.
I agree.
We're gonna try and ride green at night and see. But I think it's a really awesome coaster. Very fast, very smooth. I'd say that's also an S tier coaster. I think the three are S tiers.
That's fair, you can do that.
Okay, but you're putting that one as first, and then Battle, the Ministry?
Yep. And then I had the other...
This one.
No.
Someone's a hater. And while we're at Dark Universe, we are gonna hop on the Curse of the Werewolf. Wait time is 25 minutes. We're gonna check Express. Beware as you face the Curse of the Werewolf, which sends you spinning and weaving through the woods as you attempt to escape a pack of werewolves. And this is more so your standard spinning coaster where it's not super fast or tall, but has a generic track where the ride vehicles are able to move freely, creating a slight spinning motion. It will depend on the weight and distribution of each ride vehicle, so you could have a different experience every single time. It has a 40-inch height requirement. Single rider is available as well as child swap. Okay, so we have not agreed yet on our tiers, so we did a little average while in line. And currently our list is Ministry of Magic, S tier. Stardust Racers, S tier, like just behind it. And then for A tier you have Monsters Unchained and you have Hiccup Gliders. And then for B tier you have Mario Kart and then you have Dragon Racers Rally. And then C tier is Fire Joe. But now that we've ridden Curse the Werewolf, which I think is a good family coaster, it's not super long. You do get to spin freely, so like half the time you're like forward, backwards, although I feel like we spent most of our time on our side.
Yeah, I agree. Objectively, it's a really cool coaster. It's unique, unlike most anything I've ever ridden. And it definitely gives a different flavor to the other coasters where they're mostly acceleration, where there's a bit of that, or air time or flips. This is spins.
This is a better version of Busch Gardens Cobra's Curse.
Correct. And so it's not the coaster for me in what I like out of a coaster, but
Yeah.
objectively, it's a really, really good coaster.
Okay, so if we have Dragon Racers Rally, it's B tier, and then we have Mario Kart's B tier. Where are we putting this?
I think it could still go in B tier. It's just got to slot right in between those two.
Yeah, I think Mario Kart's better.
Agreed.
But I do think Dragon Racers Rally is worse.
Correct.
All right, perfect. We are aligned, maybe once. Doing a time check, it is 2 p.m. and we've ridden almost all of the rides. We have a few left, but we are crushing it with time. So if you are buying Express but unsure if you'll get all of it done, I think you will. And Monsters Unchained was closed for almost the entire morning, and I was nervous about that, but we've been really doing well on time. We're actually gonna go back and ride my favorite ride so far, Monsters Unchained. And we're gonna do single rider. See how much it is different versus the 50-minute for standby. So doing single rider for Monsters Unchained, at least for us, we waited maybe 5 minutes, way faster than our Express, but you do cut out pretty much the entire queue. So I would recommend doing this first, either your Express or standby, and then doing it again and having no wait. And now that you've ridden it twice, do you like it better or worse? Is it S tier?
It's better. You can appreciate it more.
We are gonna go back to Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry and see if we can do that single rider and if that will be as successful and as low wait as Monsters. I doubt it, just because it's more popular. It's a 100-minute wait for standby, where Monsters is about 45, 50. And then we still have Super Nintendo World to do. We're gonna try and do Mario Kart single rider again, and then we are gonna still have to do Minecart Madness, which is the one that's gonna be the bane of our existence because it doesn't offer Express. It's like a 90-minute wait right now. It's closed all morning. So we're gonna have to do that one and figure that out. And we still have to do Yoshi's as well, but that does accept Express. And then if we really do have some time, we might go back over and do Hiccup Swing Glider, single rider again. Basically just trying to hit all of the best rides for single rider, which I've already done it once for Express. All right, 100 minutes. Let's check single riders. I think we've made a big mistake. The wait time for standby is now 60 minutes, and single rider we've been waiting an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, so the single rider line at Battle of the Ministry was the exact opposite of Monsters Unchained. We waited 5 minutes for Monsters. We waited 2 hours for Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry. And as soon as we got into the line, the normal standby line changed from 100 to 60 minutes, which means single rider was double the wait as standby. So I will say you don't miss a lot of the queue. You get to see all the main elements. You get to go through the Metro Flu. You get to see the huge area. So in that sense, if you do want to ride single rider, you're not going to miss a lot. But I also caution you. And now we get a beer as a reward. So on a positive side, 1, got beer. 2, I will say, riding it again, I think it's better than Monsters Unchained.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know. I do think it's the best ride.
Some people can make that assessment a little faster.
Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so it is, let's see, 4:45. And we are gonna go back to Hiccup's Wing Gliders and check out what that single rider line looks like and see if it is at the battle or if it's at the monsters level. Now that it's beautiful and sunny out. And then maybe get some food. We've been running around, we haven't really eaten a lot today. And then we still have Yoshi's, Donkey Kong, which is at a 75-minute wait still. So that's again gonna be the bane of our existence. Maybe do that last thing at night. Still the carousel. I still wanna ride Stardust Racers again at night, so we'll wait for that. And I think that's it. So, 4 rides after this.
We went that way last time. Let's go this way.
And again, it's 9 a.m. 5. And we just suffered an extremely long single rider line. All right, 15 minutes for standby. We are gonna see what single rider looks like. Okay, update. No single rider. So 15 minutes. Wait time was only 3 minutes and we're about to board. We are sitting at Pizza Moon waiting for our pizza. Let's talk about if Express is worth it. So, I think it's worth it if you only have one day here. I think you can ensure that you will get on every ride. That said, there were a lot of rides that didn't have very much wait time and we didn't need to do the Express. Fire Drill was a walk-on with or without Express. Hiccup Wing Glider, this one was also a walk-on without Express. So I think you can get away with it if you have at least 2 days here without getting it. So, I don't know. If you have more than one day, I don't know if it's worth it. But for us, with being one day, we're definitely glad we got it. Pizza, eaten, we're going back into Super Nintendo World. Here we go! That was bad. That was embarrassing. I think those people heard me. 10 minutes of Yoshi's Adventure. Let's check Express. Take a ride with Yoshi's and help them find 3 glowing eggs in Yoshi's Adventure, an enchanting, family-friendly attraction that takes you on a journey through familiar Mushroom Kingdom landscapes. The slow-moving, people-mover-like ride has a 34-inch height requirement and offers child swap. Red Yoshi, let's do it. All right, let's go get that dino. I mean, eggs. I mean, Yoshi's eggs. That was Animal Kingdom Disney, wrong property. Do you feel confident in your egg finding skills? Time to enter Donkey Kong Country. Help Donkey Kong protect the golden banana on Minecart Madness, a thrilling family coaster that appears to jump the track and perform other silly feats from Donkey Kong Country video games. A minimum height of 40 inches is needed to ride, and this coaster also features single rider and rider swap. We just completed the last 2 rides from Super Nintendo World. First one was Yoshi's Adventure, which is a slow-moving ride. It reminded me almost like their version of People Mover, but it's very slow, Omni-Mover. I think this is cute for kids. What I don't like about it is that there is a height requirement where so many rides at Magic Kingdom and Disney don't require that, and this ride is clearly intended for really small children. That being said, I think it's a cute ride. I don't know if I would say it's a must-do ride.
No, you play a game, you gotta find all 3 eggs.
Yeah.
They don't even have all 3.
Just because you missed one doesn't mean that they don't have it.
Any case, not the best ride. D tier.
Yeah, I would say we're gonna put that at D for sure. Moving on to Minecart Madness. I have heard it was pretty rough. I don't think it was as rough as people said.
No.
I mean, it's not as smooth as like Stardust Racers,
no, but smoother than I expected it was going to be based on the commentary.
Yeah. It's cute. If you're in the back, you can still, it still feels like you're jumping the track, so don't feel like if you're not in the front, you're gonna miss out. We were in the back and totally had the same illusion. Where would you rank that? Would you say that's better than Curse of the Werewolf?
Yes.
So we have Curse of the Werewolf as B tier above Dragon Racers Rally. So then would you put that at A tier? Would you put that at the top of B tier?
I think I'm putting it right in the middle of B tier, and that means I'm probably dropping Dragon Racers Rally down to a C tier.
I am keeping tabs. So we decided we couldn't sit still any longer in Mario Kart with a 20-minute wait. It's one of the better rides here, so we're gonna try and do it and wait as the sun goes down to ride the last two rides. 13-minute wait, and we're about to board. We won! Looks like it's still 20 minutes. On this cosmic carousel, the constellations themselves take physical form, enabling you and your family to ride Celestial Alliance, dragons, bears, and more as your world in every direction. This has no height requirement, but child swap is available. 6 minutes. Okay, Constellation Carousel, last ride that we haven't done that we have to do here. Quick wait, 6 minutes. What I love about this carousel is that it's not just a normal going around in a circle. You can go up to 6 feet in the air, I think. And you're moving in a circle that moves in a circle.
Refreshing rendition of a classic.
Okay, but I do think it's better than Yoshi's Adventure. This one, I loved the music in it, and it was just very calming. I also think you need to ride at night for the lights. The lights
Yep.
make it a lot better. So I'm gonna give that top D tier.
Yeah, it's as good as it can get for what it is.
Okay, quickly running to Stardust Racers before we give our review and final ranking. Future Kate here. We were just so excited to give our final ranking, we forgot to discuss Stardust Racers at night. And if this is a 10 out of 10 ride during the day, then it is a 12 out of 10 at night. You must ride it at night. So Jason thinks the yellow is better than the green, and I think the green is better than the yellow. So if you've been on both, leave a comment saying which side you like better. So our final rankings in our tiers are the Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry is S tier top. Then you have Stardust Racers, S tier. Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment is A tier. Hiccup's Wing Glider is also A tier. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is the top of B tier. Minecart Madness is also B tier middle. And then at the bottom of B tier is the Curse of the Werewolf. And then you have Dragon Racers Rally, a C, and then followed by Fire Drill, the water ride, C. And the last two, Constellation Carousel and Yoshi's Adventure, both D tier. Signed off on it?
Signed off.
That's it, you heard it. We've had such an amazing day. This goes to show you that yes, you can do every single ride in one day if you do early entry and express. I do think you could do all the rides even without express. I do think early entry was worth it. For the most part, I know it rained for us, but I think in general, it's a great thing to have. We rode every ride, saw both shows, and we did 5 bonus rides of the top 5 best rides. And it's not even 9 o'clock yet. So if that goes to show you can do it, hope you can do it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I've been Kay from Vacay in One Day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Like and subscribe.